Our speaker, Dr. C. Jaykaumar, Professor Hemant Purandare, Director Academics, Professor M.H. Verma, Professor Emeritus, our esteemed deans, faculty members, members of the administrative staff, and my dear student friends. We welcome you all to the Sri NJY Memorial Lecture 2022 on the topic Organizing for the New Normal and Competencies for the Future by Dr. C. Jaykaumar. We are also happy to welcome Mr. Satyendra Tanwar, Joint General Manager, Corporate HR, L&T, and Mr. Daniel Johnson, Deputy General Manager, Corporate HR, L&T. I invite the dignitaries to light the ceremonial lamp and invoke the blessing of Goddess Saraswati. I also invite Deepta and Saras to sing Saraswati Vandana. I also invite the dignitaries to offer a floral tribute to Sri NJSSV's photograph. Thank you, dignitaries. Thank you, Ms. Deepta and Ms. Salas. Let us now take you through the life and times of Sri NJSSV, the founding father of ICFA University. He was an influential leader and institution builder, a visionary and a genius who was years ahead of his time. May I now request Dr. Preeti Saxena, our Senior Director and Campus Head, to welcome our speaker for the day, Dr. C. Jaykaumar, with a sampling.
It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Preeti Saxena, our Senior Director and Campus Head. Dr. Preeti Saxena has been in corporate for over 17 years in senior management position in various FMCG companies, and then she moved to academics. Her academic accomplishments include MSc from Gujarat University, Masters in Marketing Management from NMIMS, and a PhD in Advertising and Consumer Behavior from SMDT University, Mumbai. She is a PhD guide and a great influence on young minds to achieve their research and academic potential. Dr. Preeti Saxena has been a recipient of numerous prestigious awards and accolades such as the Best Management Faculty Award, Leading Placement Manager Award, Professor Y.K. Bhushan Most Dedicated Teachers of India Award, APP Award for Best Professor in Marketing Management, Best Professor in Advertising Management Award, Best Faculty Award in Contribution to Institution Building, to name a few. As a Senior Director and Campus Head, she continues to be an inspiration for all of us. May I now invite Dr. Preeti Saxena to deliver a welcome address.
Dr. C. Jaykaumar, Executive Vice President and Head Corporate Human Relations, Larsen & Toubro Limited, my colleagues on the dais and colleagues in the audience, and my dear student friends. On behalf of ICFAI Business School, I invite you to this memorial lecture on a very contemporary topic, organizing for the new normal and competencies for the future. This year we complete a decade of such memorial lectures that we have been having on campus, and this being the 10th year. We started in 2012 and this is the 10th consecutive memorial lecture that IBS Mumbai is having. Shri Yashasvi, born in 1950, left us in 2011. Some of us were fortunate to work with him. He hired us, he inducted us, and we worked with him for nearly 10 years. I remember very vividly, I'm sure Professor Hemant was also there in the same induction program, when he inducted us. One day that he came down to Mumbai and he took a session for just 5 of the faculty members. That was the size of IBS Mumbai. We were only 5 faculty members, and today we have grown to what you can see with the faculty strength, with the visiting faculty and the adjunct faculty. In that induction session, he asked all of us to read the book by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Most Effective People, and conveyed it to us what he expects from each one of us. A very soft-spoken person, but very articulate and assertive. Somebody who would not lose a single minute to unproductivity. He was one person who had the clarity, very courageous, very ambitious, knew when to start and when to stop. As we say, that you learn the most when you work with tough bosses, the tyrant ones. And I want to say that it was he who inculcated the researching and writing in all of us. It was his periodic meetings that he would have once in a quarter. He would visit all campuses to hold these research review meetings. People like us who came from industry did not know how to start with reviewing literature. And he said, start writing book review. That's the simplest one. And then from there, today I have a PhD degree. So I want to say that it was because of his insistence and he asking all of us to continue with researching and writing. He always felt that the IITs are known globally because the faculty members there are very good at researching and they collaborate with industry. He also mentioned that the IIMs get their reputation because of the consulting assignments that the faculty members undertake. And his vision was that we should have combination of both in all IBSs. And that's where he encouraged the faculty members to go ahead with researching and consulting assignments. One educationist who had that kind of a vision, and he felt that there are brilliant students in tier 4, tier 5 towns who do not have access to quality education. And that is where he said that he is going to make it possible to provide quality education to those brilliant minds. And if they cannot come, let us reach them and get them to do this. So he started with campuses which were accessible, and affordable. So even today when we look at our fee structure, we are not one of those very expensive ones, and the students do feel that they get the best return on investment. He laid special emphasis on faculty development. I remember those days, every year we were called to Hyderabad and we had to stay there for a week. He would take one session which used to be so impactful and powerful without any PowerPoint presentation. And his style, he would just remove his watch, keep it in front of him, first minute of the hour and the 60th minute, and he would close. He would start with examples like brands which no more exist, but they were big brands. And that is where he said he wants to build institutions where the father studies, the son studies, the son's son studies. So it's not just the duration that he's talking of the relevance of that institution, which becomes almost generation agnostic. To most of us, I mean, if I have to sum up, these are all my observations and perceptions during our interaction with him, some formal, some informal. If I have to sum up, then it's better that I say it in Hindi and say that कुछ रिश्ते बेबुनियादी नजर आते हैं, लेकिन उनकी नींवें इतनी पक्की हो जाती हैं जब उसकी इमारत नहीं डगमगाती. And this was our relation. All IBS feels that कि हमारे जो रिश्ते उनके साथ कायम हुए वो तो एक रिवायत ही बन गई है. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It is an honor to take you through the journey of Shri NJ Yashasvi Memorial Lectures. Shri NJ Yashasvi was the founding father of ICFA University and was instrumental in building a dozen business schools across the country. This memorial lecture is organized every year since 2012 to honor his memory and express heartfelt gratitude for his visionary work and generous contribution in establishing one of the best business school chains across the nation. So now, let us look at the journey of his memorial lectures.
Liberalized Indian markets, or redrafting the curriculum for an existing program to align it with the changing business environment, he sailed through them with effortless ease of a true genius. NJ Yashasvi possessed a remarkable sense of social responsibilities, aesthetics, scientific and intellectual temper, and cultural sentiments. What came naturally to him was his ability to make gold out of dust. A seemingly useless idea or an innocuous thing would spark a business model in his mind. And he was a great practitioner in possibility thinking. In that sense, he was a great economic naturalist, allocating capital to get optimal and even phenomenal returns with scarce resources. A gifted communicator, NJ Yashasvi masterfully articulated the need for a new university with government authorities, and went on to establish universities with competent faculty, duly supported by requisite infrastructure, designed a campus for a newly approved university, challenging great odds in his own inimitable style. Bequeathing the coming generations with a rich legacy of publications, he published innumerable books on current topics of management, with his unabated desire to bring the latest knowledge to the doorsteps of the Indian academic institute. An achiever par excellence, NJ Yashasvi was, however, not one to court publicity. His favorite retreat was his corner chair, surrounded by his books and photos in plot number 19 Nagarjuna Hills, from where he generated ideas that changed the educational scenario. And his worthy emissaries emulated his ideals, touching the peaks of success and turning their mentors' dreams into vibrant realities. In the last 2 years, he started several new projects. Turning to his roots, giving his mother tongue and traditions a fillip, he ventured to promote Carnatic music, established B.Ed colleges, and also a unique initiative called C.P. Brown Academy. which is today successfully bringing timeless works of Telugu arts and literature within reach of the current generation. NJY achieved so much at just 61, and yet there were so many projects at hand. His entrepreneurial zeal never diminished. For his unrivaled contributions to education, Sri Yashasvi truly deserves a place in the history of the business scenario of Andhra Pradesh and Indian education in general for his life's work. Thousands of employees of the ICFI breweries, including people, grew like saplings under the banyan tree called ICFI, which spawned the biggest service sector boom in education, research, publication, and policy making. Some of India's most successful fund managers, analysts, bankers, journalists, software and management professionals, thought leaders, and thinking elite have some connection or the other with ICFI. Either they worked at ICFI or they studied at ICFI and its associate wings. The causes he expounded were noble, and it is the duty of his protégés to carry them forward. This is the greatest tribute one can pay to him, standing as living testimonies of his life's mission.
We would like to introduce our guest speaker for the day, Dr. C. Jaykaumar. Dr. C. Jaykaumar is the Executive Vice President and Head, Corporate Human Resources in Larsen & Toubro Limited, a highly result-oriented HR professional with 34 years of experience in successfully planning, designing, implementing, and managing various strategic HR initiatives. He has been the head of HR for various businesses, independent companies, and joint ventures within L&T Group, including leadership roles in the Middle East and South Africa region. He has led various transformational initiatives within the organization, including digital transformation. He has been an established thought leader and widely acclaimed speaker in various national and international conferences and forums. In addition to 3 master's degrees in economics, labor studies, and human resource management, he has also earned a degree in law and a doctorate in leadership from the University of Madras. He is also an alumnus of London Business School. Dr. C. Jaykaumar has made an immense contribution in the human resources arena over the years. He presides on the boards of esteemed professional bodies and in the board of studies of various prestigious educational institutions. Dr. Jaykaumar has been honored with HR Lifetime Achievement Award in 2022 by FICCI and in 2021 by Economic Times and People Business. ETHR World recognized him among the top 50 thought leaders of 2022, acknowledging his exceptional work done in the HR leadership. We are honored to welcome Dr. C. Jaykaumar on this occasion and invite Sir to deliver the Sri NJY Yashasvi Memorial Lecture 2022 on Organizing for the New Normal and Competencies for the Future.
Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Preeti Saxena, Senior Director and Head of this campus, Dr. Hemant, Amarjit, Professor Verma, all the other dignitaries in the dais, faculty, members, students, and 2 of my colleagues. I'm extremely happy to be here for this memorial lecture. I'm aware of ICFI for a long time. Even in 2003-04, there are students who have done internship with us when I was in Delhi. But I was not aware of SSV, but today, before coming itself, I browsed through the net, went through his details, and today with this film and this speech, it's amazing. An individual can create a difference in this world. So many people, so many lives have been transformed because of a person. I'm happy to be part of this memorial lecture. See, I've been given 40 minutes to speak. So in a classroom, you may have another door to run away. Here you are captured. I think everything is closed. 40 minutes you have to bear with me, right? So let me try to keep us interactive as possible. I work for a is it sound is clear? Yeah, I work for a company called Nasrin Group. Sound is not clear. Is it clear now? You can hear? Is it clear now? Yeah. I work for a company called Nasrin Group, predominantly into EPC, that is engineering, procurement and construction business. The most of the roads, runways, airports. You have seen this somewhere? Stadium. Huh? I heard somebody say stadium. Airport. Most of the airports, if you see Delhi Airport, Delhi International Airport, Mumbai Airport, if you see Hyderabad Airport, Bangalore Airport, most of the airports are constructed by us. Almost all the metros many of the metros, the most of the traffic jam created here is by us. We have done all the roads across Mumbai and we have put barricades and many go round and round. So not only in Mumbai, we do it everywhere across the country. Yeah. So many of the, and we are a 21 billion organization. We are into EPC, we are into high-tech manufacturing, we are also into services. And our backlog today is somewhere around 3.75 lakh crores of order backlog. So, though the pandemic was very disgusting, but during the period we had a lot of jobs, but there were work slowdown, there were productivity issues. So now the whole stress and tension is to how do we complete these jobs on time within the cost and make margins out of it. So this is broadly my business. So we have a 5-year plan. Every organization has got a perspective plan which is 10 years, then a 5-year plan, then you have a budget and then you start working towards. So our next 5-year plan is something like growing the existing businesses, that is EPC, manufacturing as well as the services. Then we are exiting some of the businesses which doesn't make profitability. Here where we think is not our core, certain businesses we will exit. At the same time, we are entering into the new age businesses like platform businesses. We are into L&T, EduTech, where it is above Q12 for engineering colleges education. We are into SUFIN called supply chain and finance, where it is like Amazon for engineering goods. We are into data centers, so many of the new age businesses. So these are some of the areas which we work on and not to. So the thing is, the tallest, deepest, largest, fastest, anything, smartest, we are the pioneers, we do it, we keep on breaking our own records and move forward. The tallest statue, if you see the statue of Unity, Sardar Vallabhbhai statue, it is 182 meters, is constructed by us. When you go and stand near the statue, a normal person will be equal to the thumb of the statue. That is the size of the statue, which is constructed by, that is the Montra Cricket Stadium in Gujarat, which is the biggest cricket stadium. Earlier it was Melbourne, 80,000 seating capacity. This has got more than 1 lakh seating capacity. So the longest corridor, all those things, including starting from the Baha'i temple in Delhi, is constructed by us. And we do very strong construction during the bomb blast. Stock exchange building was constructed by us. Many buildings went out, our building, nothing happened. It stood there. So we have a set of values. We tolerate if a person competency is less. We train them, mold them, we put them through different assignments, we make them big. But we have very, very strong values. If some of these values are evident, then there is no zero tolerance. In terms of integrity, excellence, customer focus, caring, entrepreneurship, innovation, and corporate social responsibility. So there's a saying in our company, people are the prime movers. Our founder Hassan has told whether buildings may be there, machinery may be there, but without people, we are nothing. So people create the entire thing. So I was asked to speak, I was thinking what to speak, then I gave a thing, competencies for the future. So I thought if I come and talk about what are the competencies you have, what you should develop, then I thought it will, for 40 minutes, it will become a big yarn, then all of you will fall asleep. So I thought let me slowly shift towards how do you handle the new normal. Because you're all management students, once you complete, you have to take managerial roles in different corporates and different institutions. So I thought let me touch upon that. Little hard subject, but let us try to keep it interactive, right? All of you would have heard the word VUCA, right? Volatile, ambiguous, uncertain, complex. Same way now new term has come, Dona has come, and Bani has come for different names, mainly talking about what are the changes which are happening. So many things are happening across. One is the whole economic shift, including India going to become a 5 trillion economy by 2020 in the next 5 years, right? Population change, whole lot of things are happening. One is in many of the foreign countries, the number of people retiring are more than the people entering into the jobs, other than India, China, and some of the developing countries. And another big thing is happening in the population front. The average age of the person keeps on going up. Earlier it was 50, 60, 70. Today in most of the countries it is 70 is the average age. And every 10 years the average living age goes up by 3 years. That is the scientific research which has done. So by that time you will definitely touch 100 and your kids will touch 110 also because of the medical advancement, because of the various things they may touch that. So if it is 58 or 60 is the retirement age, then that's equal amount of years left out. So you'll have to plan for your retirement now itself. So how you will handle that? Earlier it was only school, work and retired life. Now it is school, work and then there is retired. No, there is another 2 more stages of life available. So you need to prepare for the future, keep continuously upgrading the skills, etc. So like that various things are happening across disruption, whole lot of disruption happening in terms of technology, in terms of new product coming up, the platform businesses, whole amount of disruptions happening. Even in HR side, the focus now continuously goes on skilling, reskilling and multi-skilling of people because a whole lot of things are changing. So that is the HR continuously looks at, and one of the biggest competency coming today is learning. Agility is becoming a competency where a person has to continuously learn because things are changing so fast. So you need to keep running faster and faster at least to remain where you are. It is like a treadmill it is. So coming to the new normal, I have certain things. First is the attitude of the person. The whole organization should have a right attitude. Then we have to create a sense of urgency among the people that we have to achieve certain things. Then we develop a clear-cut strategy, how we will achieve the end what we want. It should be a shared strategy. It should be not one person leader decides and says we have to go. It should be done together. And we should have a proper organizational environment to conduct whatever it is. So I did all these things to arrive at this last equation what I mentioned. That is, when you look at, you should, there's a pointer here. First is you create a sense of urgency in an organization. If you are a manager, if you are a leader, you create a sense of urgency. Then create a right mindset among the people to act. Then you come with a strategy, what type of strategy to be developed to achieve. That strategy should be a shared one because all people together should put the strategy together and they should have a right organization support that will lead to success. Any one thing if it is missing, if there is no sense of urgency, if you have all everything, lot of talk will be happening, no action will be done. Because people will keep on discussing, there is no sense of urgency to achieve the goal or achieve the end. So a lot of talk will be happen, nothing else will be going. If you have a sense of urgency, but you don't have the right mindset, you will get into a panic action. So the people will get into different things. You have a sense of urgency, right mindset. And if you do not have a strategy, you will be climbing the wrong wall. You will be going in a different direction. So you need to have a proper strategy to work on. If you have the sense of urgency, right mindset and strategy, but you do not have a shared vision, it becomes dictatorship. Somebody has told something, for that I have to tell why I should do that. I have come from some other purpose. So the purpose doesn't come inside. If all is there, a sense of urgency is there, right mindset, right attitude, everything is there, there is no organization support or environment, then it becomes a frustration and demotivation among the people. So all these things have to be put together. I will ask some examples here, we'll go little deeper into this. Here every organization had a term. It will slowly start, it will go mature and it will decline. Then again the next phase starts. So this is how things were going up to the earlier stage. Today it is much faster. I'll give an example. Airlines took 68 years to get 50 million users, customer. It took how many years? 68 years to get 50 million users. Car took 62 years to get 50 million. Credit card took 28 to get 50 million. Cell phones took 12 years to get 50 million customers. And the Twitter got 2 years. WeChat one and Pokemon in 19 days got 50 million users. So that is the speed in which today things are moving. The transformation of things are happening today. So the organization has to continuously reinvent and keep moving upwards. I have asked a question, now we have to answer. Established companies view disruption as an opportunity rather than a threat that are more likely to succeed to this. Whether established organizations or an individual should look at disruption as an opportunity or as a threat. How many say opportunity? Lift your hand. How many of you say should look at disruption as a threat? Disruption as a threat. So many people are there. Only little hand came up for opportunity, but threat nobody is lifting. Once again, how many say disruption is an opportunity? Very good. How many say it is threat? So most of you say it's an opportunity. Nobody said it's a threat. Want to know what is the right answer? It is neither, it is both an opportunity and a threat. You should look at it as an opportunity and threat. Established organizations look at disruption as an opportunity as well as a threat. Why it should be looked at opportunity and threat? When you look at it as an opportunity, then you get into strategic plan, you start thinking, you have to making planning, and lot of complacency sets in. Because you have, when it is a sense of it's a threat, then there's a sense of urgency comes in. One of our friend was talking about a very nice example. He goes for a, you are going to a sanctuary, right, to see wild animals. They will take you in a bus or van, you go around and suddenly he will stop and say, see, that's a tiger. Some of you all will see. Then he says that you saw the tail, that was the tail, he could see, tiger gone. Then you go to some other place, again you stop. Can you see a lion? You went on whole day, first half a day you went round, hot sun, tired. Then he comes and parks the vehicle below a tree. All of you get down, have some sip of water. You half day you roamed around to see a tiger and a lion, you couldn't see anything. You came back tired under a tree, got down, having a sip of water, somebody takes a coke and you're standing there. Suddenly a lion comes out of the bush. What do you do? Ah, good opportunity, let me see. Let me see the lion, let me take a selfie with the lion. Right? What do you do? Suddenly run inside, get into the bus and close the door, right? So when there's a threat, that's an immediate action taken. When it is an opportunity, you will plan. So it should, good companies look at disruption as an opportunity as well as a threat, so that they will try to attack that as well as take immediate action in that. So I'll not develop away. If you frame it as a threat, there's a sense of urgency. You will galvanize people immediately, mobilize resources. But at the same time, the disadvantage, if you look at only as a threat, it will be short-term oriented, it will be reactive, and you will not really think in the long term. When you look at it as an opportunity, you will look at it long term, you will be proactive, you will think strategically. But there will not be sense of urgency. That's why I said disruption should be seen as what? As an opportunity or threat? As both. Very good. So we look at disruption as an opportunity as well as threat. Yeah, I am not going much into detail. Next, you should have a clear strategy, have a sense of purpose. Lot of things have been talked about purpose today, so that the people get motivated. Our strong purpose, our employee value proposition is we are builders to the nation. We say we make things that make India proud. We do all the airports, we have done infrastructure, we are doing defense, we are into rocket launching, we are into different areas which take care of the nation. So the main purpose is builders to the nation. So purpose is very, very important. It goes beyond the speeches. There's a very interesting study done by somebody. There are two types of treatment. And generally this purpose is how you talk, telling stories, what you are doing for the country, what you are doing, etc. There are two treatment, treatment A and treatment B. Treatment A is 90% effective. If you give that injection, 90% of person chances are that you will recover and come out, right? But before giving the injection, the doctor says, there's a problem. 90% okay, but yesterday also died, but it very rarely happens. And if you say what happens? The whole here, when it was negatively told, only 39% was successful. When there was a treatment is only 30% effective, when they talked about very positive, that don't worry, this has cured so many people, everybody is good, things are real fine, with a positive image, positive energy, the research has shown 78% of people were better. So how you put it, how you tell about positive stories in the organization brings a lot of change in the organization, the energy and the positivity in the organization. Even you have read a book called Jim Collins, Good to Great, God, have a big vision, have a big purpose so that you move further. Next, the right mindset. I said, right mindset is, I take the example of growth mindset. There's a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. Fixed mindset is, this is what it is, so I have only this capacity, I will not be in a person to do further, I will not be in a person to learn, that type of a mindset is fixed. Whereas when it is a growth mindset, I am giving an example, whereas it's always seen that if others can do, I can also do, I can learn, I can achieve, I can move further. That is an upward spiral. So most of us should have a growth mindset that things can be done, we can grow further, because everything is in my hand, my effort. For example, in terms of challenge, fixed mindset person will avoid, growth mindset person will embrace change. When it's an obstacle, fixed mindset will give up, the growth mindset will persist, and as they are resilient people, they will bounce back and they come out. In terms of effort, they say effort is fruitless, they say that is the path to mastery. The criticism, they use it as negatively, whereas here they use it as a constructive and try to move further, bounce back. So how do you bring in a growth mindset in an organization? The next thing, you have a right attitude, then you have a right mindset. I will give you, you're all intelligent students, selected to a competitive exam, you are with IBS, right? And going to the future managers. So I am talking about a thing which is done somewhere in Germany. It's a true story. In Germany, there was a school teacher taking the class. During that time, she had some work to do. So if she has to go out, she cannot just like that go. The children will start playing and dancing. So she wanted to keep her busy, give some homework and then go finish my job and come back. So she thought very intelligent, so she said to the students, you have to count 1 to 100, that is 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. 1 plus, like that you have to count till 100 and tell me the answer. Start working on that. So she thought she will finish off her work. By that time all these students will be very busy, but to her surprise, one student within not even 2 minutes, not even 1 minute, he immediately answered and he gave the answer. So can you tell me the answer for this? Both intelligent. How many of you could Google immediately? So we should have a close proximity to. How did you? Who said 5050? Get up. Tell me how did you say? Yeah. Come. Get up.
N plus 1 by 2.
Pardon?
N plus 1 by 2.
Okay, use the formula. Very good. He didn't use any formula. Formulas were all done later. Tell me, how did he do? Eh? So you are very bright students, immediately they answer. Anyway, when the professor asked me, I could not answer. Yeah. Tell me, how? There is a true story about Carl Gauss, Johann Carl Friedrich Gauss. He only did simple one thing. 1 to 100. He counted 1 plus 100. How much?
101.
1 plus 100 how much? 101. Then 2 plus 99 how much?
501.
3 plus 98 how much?
100.
So he got the logic. Right? So he multiplied. So it became 5050. So 50 times you have to do 101 into 50. 5050. So within 2 seconds he cracked the answer. 1. Are you getting it? All understood how he did it? 1 plus 100 is 101. 2 plus 99 is 101. 3 plus 98 is 101. So he saw a pattern. So how many times it will come in 100? It will come 50 times. So 101 into 50, 5050. So you have intelligent, smart people. So next thing, what I talked about, create a sense of urgency, create the right mindset, then create a strategy. So strategy you have, if you have, by that time whether you have gone through the class, I do not know, or it will be in the second year. Strategy is what to do, how to do, when to do, where to do, collect all the data, then try to analyze whether it is SWOT, whether it is any other method, and see what is the right strategy, how to go about, right? I am trying to put it in very, very simple thing. Making choices from the available options is the strategy. How do I make a label? So now let me give you another interesting riddle for you. Let me see now who is the intelligent person here. So a man walks into listen carefully. A man walks into a shoe shop to buy a pair of shoes for 12 pounds. He hands the shoe shop attendant a 20-pound note. It is early in the morning. The shoe shop attendant did not have change. He therefore walks to the restaurant next door and exchanges 20-pound note to 21 coins. Okay, 1 pound coins. He comes back and gives the customer the change, and the customer leaves. Very simple. He comes, buys the shoe for 12 pounds, gives 20 pounds. The shopkeeper didn't have change, so he went to the next shop, brought some 20 coins, and then he gave it back to him, and the fellow took 8 pounds back and his shoes, and he left. Very simple, right? Later in the day, the restaurant owner comes to the shoe shop and says, "This is a forged 20-pound note you gave me." Afterward, the next shopkeeper comes and says, "Boss, whatever note you gave, it is a forged note." So the shoe shop attendant apologizes. because he didn't know that, and give the restaurant 2 good 10-pound notes. Return to the 20. Now tell me, what is the loss of the shopkeeper? How much is his loss? Don't take the shoe part of it, balance. How much he has lost? 28 pounds. Okay? Any other answer? Yeah. 8 pounds. Very good. Any other? Went to the shop, brought a $12 pound shoe, gave 20 pounds, took 8 pounds change and gone. Now the $20 he says it is forgery, so that 20 he has given to the next owner. Any other answer? 22. That is 28, 22, 8. Any other? 32. How much? 32. Very good. Then we can keep on arguing because there is a lot of missing information in the exercise. Who ends up with the forged 20-pound note? The shoe shop or the restaurant owner? Whether he gave 20 to 10 pounds, but whether the 20 pounds was given back or not, it is not clear in this statement. If the shoe shop, what did he do with it? Suppose that he could have gone and complained and then exchanged it. That is not aware whether he got it. If the restaurant, then should the shoe shop then take into consideration the opportunity cost? So there are a whole lot of missing information there. So even we keep on arguing, we can have different answers from different perspectives. So strategy is within the available information, how do you make the choices out of the available information? So that is more important. You will always have missing information because you cannot be specific anything. Whenever there is a vacuum, people find their own assumptions. You will immediately, by default, you will make some assumption and arrive at an answer, right? So good answers is not enough, but you have to, if you have created a sense of urgency in the organization, then you created a right mindset, growth mindset, you can do, it can be done. Then you created a sense of urgency also, then you have collected all information, then you have made a plan. This is how we will go ahead. Can we start doing it immediately? The best thing is to experiment it, to try. Most of the startups today is they start something, try, they are successful, and then they scale it up. They don't just bring into that. So that's another exercise for you. Let me see how. You are facing 3 closed doors. What is that? 3 closed doors are there in front of you. Okay? Behind one door there is lot of gold. Behind another 2 doors there are goats. One goat is standing. Okay? There are 3 doors. Behind one door there is lot of gold. Behind 2 doors there is a goat. 2 goats are standing. You are given an option to go and touch whichever door you want. If you get right, you get lot of gold. If you miss it, what will you get? Goat. So pick up one of these doors. You are going and touching one of the doors. Okay? After you touched one door, I open another door out of the 3 and show you your goat. And then tell you, now you have an option, you can change your hands also. Or you can stay with that. Will you change or you will stay with that? Is the question clear? There are 3 doors. We get one is a lot of gold, another two there is a goat. I gave the option, you went and touched this door. There are another two doors are there. I open another door and show a goat. Now I will give you option. Do you remain with that or you want to change? What do you do? How many say you will stay in that same door? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because out of the 3 you made a combination, you selected one. Whether you will stay, how many say you will change? Very few. And others will not touch the door at all, is it? All are keeping quiet. So whoever will stay with that, who said I will stay with that door? Why? Get up. Why? Why do you stay with that? Pardon? Wonderful. I took a call and I selected one door. So I will stay with my instinct. It's anyway it is pinky bonky, I touched it, right? I do not know what is there inside. So I will stay with it, right? Anybody else who will stay with that? Who said I will stay with that? Anybody else who said I will stay with that same door? Who is that? Okay, now I will come to the person who said, okay, I will change the door. Oh, he is very curious to tell. I don't want to ask you. Now I'll ask you. Tell me why. Get up. So, people should hear. Yeah. Why will you change the hand?
Basically I would change the door because there is a threat. If we don't change the door, there will be threat in another door.
No, I said there are 3 doors. One is gold, balance 2 is gold. You touched one door. I have opened another door and saw your gold. Now either of the door there is gold. You have touched one. Will you change or will you not change? If you are changing, why are you changing?
No sir, I am changing because there is a threat in the door.
Threat? There is no threat in that door. Why there is a threat?
No, because see, if we touch that door where there is gold, so we will fall in a big trouble.
So you will stay with that. Existing, whatever you touched.
No sir, I will not say I will change it. So whatever I touch, I will change.
Why? Why are you changing? What is the logic of changing?
So sir, because like you don't know, if we touch that boat, so boat's door, there will be a threat to that.
No. You are telling.
The probability is already 33%.
Pardon?
The probability is already 33% when the door is revealed, which has a boat behind it. If I change it, it adds up to 66%. So I would like to change the door. It would increase my probability of getting gold.
No, but you have touched one, right, with the probability. Now one is not there. Now why are you changing? The 66% probability is here also, there also. Why are you changing that?
So earlier it was 33%, but now if I change, I have 66%. If I stay with it, it has 33% probability. But when I change now, it has 66%.
Is it? Anybody else who said I will change the door? Anybody else? So what he said is right. If you change, the probability is very high. But in a common sense, if you look at it, there are 3 doors. I went and touched one door. Correct? Other one thing is the goat. Now it should be either of that. So I have already touched. So why should I move that? But there have been experiments which have proved whenever you change the door, probability of winning is very, very high. There's a small video in that. I do not know how much time is over now. Yeah. The small video, I'll Monty Hall problem. It gives the clear example where people played. Even in your, two of you sit and do this continuously for 20 rounds. You will see that whenever you shift the hand, then only you will. The probability of it is much higher than staying with the same. So apparently, when you brought this out, is apparently when you look at it, it seems to be same. But when you experiment and see, you get a different idea. So whenever there is an idea, whenever there is a strategy, better experiment it in one of the places, see how is the outcome, and then take it to the market. even in L&T, with such a large corporate, when you look at, for example, digitalization, first we did it in our own company. We established it. We saw there's a result. Then converted into an organization that is called L&T. Next we started. When you look at the SUFIN, supply chain and finance, first we built the platform. Then we used it ourselves for procurement. We are doing business of, I said revenue is more than 1.5 crores, 1.5 lakh crores it is, right? Talking about 3.75. So for our procurement, we used our platform and see how it is working. Uploading of our customers, our suppliers, etc. Then it is successful, then it is taken to market. So that is what I wanted to emphasize here. So you can look at Monty Hall's problem in your Google, in your YouTube, you will get a very clear understanding of what I was talking about. Next. So disruptions are very common, so you need to. Then another thing is the whole organization support. Organization environment is required to execute your strategy. Creating a sense of urgency, creating a mindset, then you did an excellent strategy, then you experimented it, everything is working, okay? Everything is fine. Can you implement it? Again, you need a proper culture or environment in the organization. That's why they are told, no, there's a saying, culture eats strategy for breakfast, right? So if everything is there, if the proper culture is not in the organization, it will not happen. I will give a simple example for the environment, how much impact it creates. It is also a lot of researchers have come. You are coming to IBS, you parked your bike or car, then you came here, by entry inside, you saw a person lying down or somebody fallen down and he is in the floor. What you will do? What you will do? Actually, what you will do? Immediately you try to help, ask somebody to bring some water, you will give some water, all those things you will do, right? You started from the house, you are coming through metro or some other, you got out from the metro, then you are coming out of the metro station, you find somebody lying down on the floor. What you will do? Somewhere you are coming, halfway, you came out of such gate station, you saw somebody outside, what you will do immediately? Help? How many of you immediately go and help? Inside LBS, IBS, if you see, immediately you do that. Slightly hesitant to do that. You went for a night show, along with your husband, you went in a car, you went for a night show, returning back at 1:30, you find somebody lying down like that, what will you do? Huh? Speed up the vehicle and go away, right? All the three places, it is a person whom you do not know was lying down. When it is IBS, you immediately, everybody without any thinking said, I immediately go and help it. Whereas when it is near Churchgate station, slight hesitant whether to do or not. When it is night at 12 o'clock when somebody is there, no way, run. Right? Why to stop, why to get it. So the situation is same, but the environment is different. So environment creates a lot of impact on this. Researchers, how much you think environment will play? This is a practical research finding it is. Given all the factors that influence how we behave, what percentage of variance attributed to the environment? How many percentage? It is 20 to 99 I put. Any guesses?
70.
Pardon?
70.
70. You are fastest finger first here. Yeah. Right. Who else? Anybody else? Any other number? What is the percentage? What is the percentage you think environment will influence? Somebody said 70. Any other guesses? 25. 170, 125. Anybody? Any other guesses? 95. 70 is correct. The researchers showed 70% is explained based on the situation. How you act is based on the situation. Otherwise, So it is very, very important you create a right atmosphere, whether if it is education, that type of atmosphere, whether it's or not, to have the strategy to be executed. So this is broadly to give some examples on what I said. In an organization, in an institution, whatever you wanted to achieve, first and foremost is create a sense of urgency, otherwise complacency will set in. Create the right mindset of people. That's a learning culture, growth mindset, learn from mistakes, resilient culture so that I keep moving up. Have a right strategy, collect all information based on the available information, how you make alternatives to decide. That's the strategy. Then it should be clear, shared strategy, involve people so that there is lot of commitment, ownership, getting around together. Then finally you have the right environment. Then it is success. So a simple way to summarize how to do that. Quickly I will touch upon 3 or 4 competencies which are required for the future, or certain things are evergreen. Certain things are based on the thing. I will touch upon that for 5-10 minutes, then we will close. This is the Baha'i temple which we have constructed somewhere in the 80s. It's in Delhi, which is called the, again, one more Taj Mahal of India. Lotus temple in Delhi. First and foremost important ever is your domain expertise. You have to be an expert in your domain. For example, if you are in HR, get into the details of all the concepts, everything, you should be very thorough. If you are a civil engineer, you should know particular civil, that domain expertise has to be there. There is no compromise on, I will be a manager on the top. You will not get respect unless you are a strong domain knowledge you have. First, so that can happen only in these 2 years when you are there in the college. After that, it is only casual reading. Here, how much of, even today, workman definition or industrial discipline definition, what is studied in that college, that is what it comes out, right? So, get into the details of the domain when you are in this 2 years. There is no compromise on that. Everything is so up here. Second is the executive presence. Executive presence, I give a holistic thing. Right from the way you stand, way you talk, way you dress up, how do you handshake, how do you get hardly 2 to 3 seconds to impress a person. For example, you are joining an organization, you are in a big induction program, the CEO or the top man walks through, or you will get hardly 2 minutes. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? In that 2 minutes, how you can create an impression? If you can, then they will stop back and say, yes, where are you from? What are you doing? Which institute did you study? So the executive presence is very, very important. Very consciously, you have to work on those areas. I was extremely happy when I came. He showed an English language laboratory here, how to converse in English. So when I said executive presence, it is not the English alone I am talking. You need not talk Shakespeare English, but the whole body, how you, the eye contact you make, how you express your ideas. It can be in Hindi, it can be mixed, whatever it is there. But you have to create that presence. That is very, very important. Consciously work on those areas which will take you long. In many of the places, a person who is growing fast will definitely have this. That is not very difficult. Next is interpersonal effectiveness. It is the foundation. You cannot do anything on your own. In an organization, you have to work with people. How you handle people, how you handle your superior, how you handle your subordinate, how you handle your peers, people are different. First and foremost is understanding self, why I behave in a particular manner, then look at the others. So a whole lot of effort is there on interpersonal relationship. This will lead to a better team working in teams, with the different people. The overall common goal is more important than the individual, how we work together. This is another very, very important area which you have to look into. Third is the positive attitude. I was talking about the growth mindset. Same way positive. Anything can happen. If he can do something, I can also do. Why I cannot do? That should be the attitude. I can learn. He may be very intelligent, super intelligent. He may do it in 2 hours. Okay, I am not intelligent, but okay. But I can do it in 8 hours or I can do it in 16 hours. But I work towards that and see that I get it done. So the self, it is a upward spiral. More I do, I get a kick, I go up. Otherwise, you go into a downward spiral. So positive attitude is another very, very important aspect. So I talked about domain, knowledge, no compromise. Next is your executive presence. Then I talked about interpersonal. Then working in teams in an organization. Give lot of guidance. We put them through coaching. We put them through improvement plan. We rotate them within different departments. We ensure that somehow we try to bring the person up. So if in case of there is an integrity issue, there is zero tolerance. Immediately it is out. So not only L&T, any organization for that matter, the work ethics is very, very important. You have to, at any point of time, that I used to tell my own people, because we work in various construction projects. Okay, construction projects, we get people like suppliers, contractors from different walks of life. There will be people who come and tempt those people with various things. So we used to generally keeping that as a very important value at every session, everything we used to reinforce those aspects. Okay. And the last but not the least, we talked about self-development, which I started in the beginning itself on learning agility. That is becoming one of the most important competencies today. Things are changing in such a fast pace. What is yesterday is not today. Whole things get changed. So continuous learning, sharpening of saw is very, very important. To conclude, we have domain knowledge, executive presence, interpersonal effectiveness, team working, positive attitude, work ethics, and self-development. These are some of the things which will always remain evergreen till you retire or even when your kids come to up. These are the things which will always remain as a competencies, whether today, tomorrow, or for the future. So with that, let me conclude. Your good news is my presentation is over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for this enlightening lecture. The year 2022 marks the silver jubilee of ICFI Business School as well as a decade of Shri NJY Memorial Lectures. On this happy occasion, we have a little something prepared for you. We would like to invite Director Academics Professor Hemant Purandare to present it.
Good evening, Dr. Jaykaumar, Dr. Preeti, dignitaries on the dais, guests, my colleagues and friends. 10 or 11 years is but a small slice when you are looking at it from a perspective of history. Because all of us know that history, when we talk of Stone Age, Ice Age, which runs into millions of years, the British era, which runs into maybe 200 years and so on. But when we look at it as a decade of legacy, it gives a different meaning. And it is time for us to pause, to reflect, to look at what has happened in the past decade of this legacy of Sri NJY, which we are fortunate today to be enjoying, and also look at it from the future. For all of us, and I speak for each one of us, both as a member of the ICFI group and as a fraternity member of IBS Mumbai, the NJY legacy is what drives all our endeavors. As we saw in the biopic about him, and as Dr. Preeti also was sharing, he was a true pioneer, thought leader, and a fearless implementer of ideas. He never took no for an answer. So anybody who said that private education cannot work in India, he didn't take a no for it, and you have IBS Business School. He said that university affiliation is a must. He didn't take that as a negative, and again we have what we are today from the recruiter's perspective. This is obviously evident that each one of us knows that his physical presence is no longer there, but what remains are his ideals, his values and his goals. And they are as fresh as when he started out maybe 25-30 years ago, and I guess it will continue. At IBS Mumbai, we have a lot of pride that we pay our tributes to this great thought leader by organizing such memorial lectures once a year, and typically this happens either in the month of October or November. The last 10 memorial lectures have been delivered by stalwarts, each one of them a thought leader, each one of them a person who made a difference in the sphere that they spoke about. So what is that one common theme that I felt personally across these 10 lectures and even today is a common thread of always looking ahead and changing today. So while we were thinking that what should be done to make this occasion a little memorable, something that will make us remember, and Dr. Preeti suggested that why don't we have a compilation of all the snapshots of the series of lectures that we have had. That was the thought, and Dr. Rita and her creative team of students went about with great gusto, and we have created a small CD for all of us. This CD will be available to you for viewing at the library after we incorporate Dr. Jaykumar's today's wonderful talk, snippets of it, and will also be available on YouTube. So it's my proud privilege to request Dr. Jaykaumar, Dr. Preeti and everybody on the dais to please launch this CD.
2022 also marks the completion of the decade of the memorial lectures that commemorate Founders Day, and we call them as Shri NJY Memorial Lectures. Left us in October 2011. In memory of his vision for education, all IBS campuses lectures by inviting eminent speakers from the industry to address the management students on a contemporary topic. This year, being the completion of 10 years of such lectures, IBS Mumbai is presenting a souvenir in the form of compilation of all lectures on would be knowing him now on. And it's a proud moment to present this souvenir as we enter into the new decade of learning. Thank
articulated last year when he came here for the ICFI Silver Jubilee lecture. I'm sure Dr. Kandianwal will recall that. And he said, if I quote, I will establish 100 campuses across the country if I get proper educational leaders. He was looking for leaders to man these institutions and was not only looking for them, he was also shaping those leaders. He was therefore a leader of leaders, and therefore it was a great loss to the leadership community also when he suddenly expired last year. A great learner, ever questioning, because that was his mode of learning. He showed interest in practically every branch of learning. An avid reader who would really read so extensively and intensively, and every time I met him, we had opportunities of sharing our readings and also our personal philosophies.
Of my favorite poem, The Psalm of Life, by H.W. Longfellow. Lines of greatness all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. It's not enough to leave footprints. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing over life's Solomon may, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing shall take on again. Let us then be up and going, with a heart for any pain, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. I think we should all give a big round of applause to celebrate the life of the sailor for creating such fantastic institutions.
I now request Dr. Preeti Saxena to present the memento to our speaker, Dr. C. Jaykaumar. I would also like to request Dr. Preeti Saxena to present the memento to our guests, Mr. Satyendra Sanwar and Mr. Daniel Johnson. Mr. Satyendra Tanwar. Mr. Daniel Johnson. Dr. Rita Rangnekar, Dean Ipato, to propose the vote of hands.
I'll make this quick without elaborating too much. It's been a wonderful session, and it's always a very heartening and an emotional experience to say thank you to people, because it means that something that we've been working for over the last 15 days has come to an end, and we look forward to more such events. So allow me to do the honors. I wish to extend my heartfelt thank you on behalf of IBS Mumbai to Dr. C. Jaykaumar for his very, very humorous and excellent delivery. Thank you so much, sir. So allow me to recap just for 2 minutes what you just said. So you spoke to us about the qualities and the competencies that are required, and what remains with us is that you spoke that we should have a sense of urgency. We need to create the right mindset, wherein you spoke about creating a growth and a positive mindset. You also said that you need to have an excellent strategy, and it's not enough to have all these unless you have the support of the organization. And somewhere in between you also spoke about how one behaves, which is very important. You brought to us the values of your organization, wherein you mentioned that people are the prime movers of an organization. You spoke to us about the tallest, the wildest, the biggest, the longest, and the largest. And I guess that includes a whole lot of things. And so I would just like to say that when you are asking people whether disruption is an opportunity or whether it is a threat, we were all discussing over here that it is both. So I think I was the only one who raised a hand over here. Allow me to say that to you. Thank you, sir. You also said good answers are not enough, and that one must test and validate things before we implement them. Thank you, sir. Please keep coming over and over again to IBS Mumbai, and we will keep changing our rules. I would also like to say thank you to Mr. Satyendra Tanwar, Joint General Manager Corporate HR, L&T, and Mr. Daniel Johnson, Deputy General Manager Corporate HR, L&T. Thank you for accompanying, sir, and your presence was valuable to us. Our Senior Director and Campus Head, Dr. Preeti Saxena, for making this event happen, and ma'am, it was because of your inspiration that we felt like going ahead with the CD and with such a wonderful program. You spoke of Mr. Yashasvi, and somewhere I saw myself trailing there because I was also fortunate enough to listen to a few sessions and be with them. Thank you, ma'am. A very big thank you to Professor Hemant Purandare, Director, Academics, and today's, I would say, director of this movie which was made by my very dear students, Umang, Abhijit, and the entire library team sitting out there. Today they are all dressed for the occasion. I cannot mention enough how hard they have worked to make today's film happen. Thank you so much. I'll be taking your name shortly. A very big thank you to Professor M.H. Verma, Professor Emeritus, and sir, we know that you are the mastermind behind getting today's speaker. Thank you so much, sir. A thank you to Professor Amarjit Patpatia and Dr. Davinder Suri, Professor Amarjit Patpatia, Dean and Deputy Placements Coordinator, Dr. Davinder Suri, Dean Academics. Thank you, ma'am. A very big thank you to Dr. R.R. Reddy, Mr. TVVG Satyanarayana, Dr. Venkat, And thank you to Mr. Chandrasekhar for having sent us this biopic on Mr. Yashasvi. It was because of their support year after year that we have been able to launch these programs. Thank you, sir. Professor Priyanka Dhinga, who I can see is not here because she's taking care of the refreshments out there. Thank you, ma'am, and we look forward to having a hearty high tea after this to you and your team. The ICC team, who's ensured that all of you are present here and applauding under the leadership of Professor Puneet Naik, who is just a year old in this organization. But see the dedication with which he's making things happen. Thank you, ma'am. Professor Ganesh Mani and Ms. Gargi Gothe. Gargi, can you come out, please? She's been inside there. Please come out. She's the one who got the students together, got them trained over the last 15 days, and that's how you have Vinayak and Janvi and Braj, all of them trained by Ganesh and Gargi to make the anchoring happen. And of course, my other students, I'll be taking their names. There's Salas and there is Deepta. Miss Julie D'Souza, who's sitting there in the audience, has been working overnight to decorate the stage, and how you all can see that here. Every flower here, every petal, and the fragrance that's coming out of the flowers is because of her doing. Please give her a big hand because her entire team has been working. Thank you, ma'am. I must say thank you to Ms. Sharda Naik, Kiran, who's part of Judy ma'am's team, Santosh, and all the others. A thank you to Shefali. I'll be taking all their names still. Mr. Sadanand Gauli and his entire team. I can't see Mr. Gauli. I think he's also taking care of the arrangements. Thank you, sir, for your cooperation and your support. I have the entire IT team over here who I have been harassing over the last 10 days, and all of them have been taking it with a smile. So there's Mr. Nagesh Pujari, Mr. Harish Shetty, Ashwin, Shambhu, Vikas, all of them have been working overnight, and thank you so much. Year after year, you keep doing this. Now there is someone who seemingly is doing all the background work, and I must say thank you. That's Dhanraj and his housekeeping team. Today even he has become part of the entire team, and I saw him running around today for the folders. Atmaram, Rakesh, Sachin, Jacinta, Varsha Kamle, and yes, the placements team. I can see all of them here. And I would like to take the names, all of the names of the members of the library team, because they've really worked very hard to make that film happen. So we start with Mr. Nitesh, who's just a month old in the organization, Mr. Dhananjay, Rohit Ambekar, Ms. Vidya Kolatkar. For all the hard work, they've worked on the weekends, even on Sundays, making tiny croppings out of those videos and bringing them to all of you over here. Last but not the least, the filmmakers today, Umang Srivastav and Abhijit Gupta. Please come here. Please come here. Ma'am, Hemant sir told them that you have to make this happen, and he inspired them so much that I think they really believed that they would become the next Jatin Lalit or who are the directors. And they actually started working, and suddenly the energy came out of them and they became the envy of the town. So Umang and Abhijit, first year students, and the entire team of student anchors over here, I will take their names even if it means that your IT waits for 2 minutes. So we have Raj Parekh, Vinayak Jaiswal, please raise your hands and come here. Janvi Pala, and Saras Mate, and Deepta Menon, who sang that beautiful rendition of Saraswati Vandana. Shefali today, who coordinated the whole thing, of course, with the help of Garki, and Priyanka ma'am's team, Kiran Joshi, Smarak Panda, Aman Rathod, who are going to feed us now. And all the students of the ICC team. Please raise your hands, all of you are all there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. No thank you to me. It is always a pleasure. And we look forward to many more such. I was just telling ma'am, we will not be there for the 50th NJY lecture, but or for the 50th anniversary of 5 years, but we go on forever. Thank you so much. I think they have some surprises for all of you online. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. I request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाथा